My name is Julia Wolf and I'm from Queens, New York. I would describe my music as lyrically driven, but there are a lot of hip-hop influences because I mostly enjoy rap music, so you can expect the 808s and the trap drums, like indie vocals. So I knew this was going to be my career pretty early on, but I didn't know how to make it happen. So I started training in classical piano because I thought maybe that was the way to get my foot in the door. And amidst those auditions, I found a songwriting program and I just switched gears, went to college for songwriting, and just kept hustling since then. I was interning at a recording studio and I would play every open mic I could, like 5 nights a week, just after work. And I think it's all about consistency because a lot of people unfortunately give up halfway through. So I just kept at it and kept posting. And eventually I think people just asked me to put the songs on Spotify, which is what I did. And it just became a pattern, like I kept doing that and was feeding off the energy of, the people showing support. So my first gig ever really wasn't too long ago. I did 4 shows where I headlined these small venues, 2 in the city, 2 in LA. So when I found out about Gov Ball, I truly screamed for like 24 hours. I couldn't get over the fact that they knew I existed and wanted me to perform. I found out my manager just called me, and within minutes everything changed. It's a huge, huge check off the goal list for me. I think this opportunity will be such a learning experience, performing to a lot of people who might not know me necessarily. So it's all about interacting as much as possible, which is something I'm really trying to work on more in sets. This 100% is the biggest show I will have ever played, and I just can't wait to meet everyone. So my new song is called Hot Killer. I will be performing it for the first time ever at Gov Ball. This song is about, being shy, but needing people to understand that, yes, I'm quiet, but I don't put everyone on a pedestal. I have my Slytherin, Harry Potter references in there as well, because Draco's the most misunderstood character. And yeah, it's just like an anthem for these girls. I would say my producer Jackson is my biggest mentor. He just understood the sound I was going for right away. For me, my inspiration always comes from real life experiences. I can only write on things that I know about for it to feel genuine to other people. It's interesting because when I was younger, I found inspiration coming to me very easily. But the more you write off these same experiences, it gets tricky, so you have to dig for it. So if I start writing a piece and I get stuck somewhere, I always send it to Jackson first, no matter what condition it's in, because he is a songwriter as well. It's usually just the 2 of us. Sometimes my sister will help out with a line. I like to keep it close-knit. It's just easier for me that way. One song that is very special to me is called Chlorine. It's an older song of mine, and the process of hearing that song come to life was so special because it was my first trip ever out to LA, to where Jackson was. It was just very magical for me to hear my inner workings come to life. I had never experienced that before. And to have him so clearly understand what I was going for was really special for me. The recording process is very fun for me because that's where everything comes to life, of course. So I tried to have as much prepared as possible because yes, I can record vocals here, but I don't have the booth, the treatment. Also, we're in Queens, so there are cars everywhere every 5 minutes. So yeah, I get all my stuff ready, go to LA, and we just get it done, there from sometimes 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Doesn't bother me, I'm just happy to be doing it. For me and Jackson, we are able to knock out at least 2 songs a day. So once a song is completed, you're itching to post it, I just want to share it immediately. That's not how it works. You have to wait ages, and I didn't realize that. In the beginning, I was more carefree about posting. I just wanted to put content out. Now I'm a bit more strategic. I like to be patient with it because I think it's more rewarding when you build into things. So I have songs right now that are like a year old that I'm plan on putting out with the album. Just have to wait for the right time. Feedback from fans is absolutely so inspiring. It drives me to continue creating. When I went on this tour just recently, there was one girl, she gave me a handwritten letter just explaining how she was the same as me growing up, just really quiet, really shy, and the lyrics have helped her through so much and resonated, because it's so important to understand you're not the only one going through it. It feels like you are, but you're not. And I try to be as vocal about that part of my life as possible, because I don't hear too many artists talking about that so much. So that's why it's in a lot of the songs. So once a song of mine is released, you can virtually listen to it anywhere. All the major streaming services. I put it on my YouTube channel as well. I try and make it as accessible as possible. The Mets game was so much fun. I wasn't expecting it to be such a social event. Like, everyone around us was so full of life and energy, and we just had the best time. Seeing the excitement in the crowd, and of course, the moment on the Jumbotron was amazing for me. Yeah, it was so fun. It was so fun. We were all sitting down, just hanging out, and all of a sudden I hear my song playing through the speakers, and I lost my mind. I completely freaked out. Wasn't expecting that at all. Incredible. It's such a giant space to have, you know, little old me singing up there. It's the best feeling. Stepping on the field was such a dream. I mean, you feel so small, you know, and you understand how massive this little world is that, you know, you step into. And then I'm thinking about Gov Ball and getting to perform at such a magnificent space. I just couldn't be more excited for it and very nervous. A show day for me starts off waking up pretty early just because can't sleep. And I kind of go through the day pretty nervous. It's just all the anticipation of this one moment that you've been practicing, rehearsing for. Backstage, probably an hour before, is when I start looking at my set list, going through my notes, making sure I feel good about everything. 30 minutes, that's when the nerves really start to kick in majorly. But everyone's around me, everyone's being supportive and loving. You got this, you know, making me feel good. And that's it, then it's showtime and you're out there, and then everything feels okay. When I first walk out on the stage, everyone is so loving, and it's just immediately like everyone's cheering for you. So it makes you feel great, makes you feel welcomed. And then after that, it's really just like everyone's there to see you, you know? Everyone who's there wants to be there, and there's so much comfort in knowing that. So it's a good time, you know? We're just all hanging out. When I'm on stage, I definitely get into a zone, but at the same time, I'm very aware of the crowd and really try to sing to, you know, individuals, make it feel like a connecting experience, and not that I'm just like in my own little world kind of performing for everyone. I want it to be extremely interactive. Anytime I perform here, where I live, there is nothing like it. The energy is always just 10 degrees more than other cities that I play in. And I think because this is where I started everything, this is where my original fan base grew out of, so the love here just feels a little different.
Oh my gosh, Gov Ball was amazing. It was such a dream to be here, especially as someone who's always been in the crowd. It's unreal to be on stage. The song went well, I think. People loved the Cammy reference, you know, my little sister. And yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better time.